What is up, my dudes? It's Pac-Man here, and today I wanted to bring you guys another brand new episode of All6 Analysis, the show where I take your footage and show you where to best improve. So today we're checking out my man's You're Salty Now. He's basically a PlayStation player currently playing around high Plat 2 to low Plat 1. He really wants to make that push for Diamond next season. So basically he's just asked me to just, look at my callouts, look at the more kind of like fine details of the gameplay and see where I can improve or where I'm going wrong or what I can see. So yeah, hopefully I can spot some things. I can show you what's going on. I can maybe show you a thing or two, but without rambling too much, let's get straight into it. Let's go. Some high-level PlayStation. The highest level I've done so far is a Plat 2 on PC. So now Plat 1 on PlayStation. That's cool. That's cool. So for me, again, because I'm actually recording these slightly in the past. So for you guys right now, when you're watching this, I will actually be in surgery. I'm pretty sure. Because it should be Tuesday morning Australian time or Monday evening American time. I don't know. It all gets very confusing. But I should be in surgery right now if you're watching this basically when the video comes out. So that's kind of exciting. Okay, we're playing the sledge. You got that Plat charm. That's a nice charm. Damn. Okay, you punched the window. So just really quickly as well, one thing that my friend Spectron, he's a good friend of mine. Those that watch the stream will know, right? He gave me a piece of advice on basically punching barricades. So what people what I hope you guys do know, or if you don't know, when you see a glass like this, so a glass that's covering a barricade, basically they're not going to be able to hear. If that glass is intact, the people on the other side of that window are not going to be able to hear anything. Okay, so they just won't be able to hear anything. You can rappel up there and there's basically no sound. So if you get yourself ready, you can punch that window and then you can shoot like this guy does, right? So like my man, You're Salty Now. You take that punch and you start to look, right? So one thing that Spectron kind of taught me, thank you Spectron, shout out to Liv's link in the description, but one thing that he did teach me when I came back to Siege was basically line it up for the pre-fire that you're looking for, punch, and then shoot regardless, because as soon as you punch that window, they are going to look at that window if they're there, right? So if they're there or if they're around, or even if they're not ready to shoot back, they will move once they hear that window being punched. So literally punch and pre-fire. So what I would be pre-firing here if I were you is this window is really good at maybe taking out the player that's at the end of this hallway that's playing Pixel, right? That's playing that shield covering piano, right? So usually there'll be like a shield. It's on the door at the very end. Imagine that's the door there. Yeah, and then that's the shield, and then you've got some guy that's just kind of like crouched playing Pixel. So if you can catch him off guard where he's a little bit exposed, so maybe what I would do is I would go up to the very top of that window, I would upside down rappel, punch, and then pre-fire right down the end of that hallway into that door frame to try and kill the player on Pixel. Yeah, so basically when you're hitting barricades like that, you should let off a few bullets for the most part. And what you did there is you stayed around a little bit too long. And again, like, these are just very intricate details, but if you do that against people that are like really solid, the next level of players, you usually will get punished for that. Where you just stand there a little bit too long. You're kind of checking things out. You'll just get pre-fired. So that's what this video is going to be about for the most part, I imagine, dude. And, like, when we're looking at gameplay, because, in reality, I could come up against you in ranked. Obviously not because you're PlayStation. Oh, God. He's hot dropping. Oh, they're bottom floor. So not a lot of droning, but your teammates are kind of already taking a lot of control. I'll get back to what I'm saying in a moment. So the one thing that I am really noticing is there is not a lot of droning going on here. I know your teammates are taking that control, but yeah, I guess. He's stupid? Oh my God, dude. He swung? So again, face checking everything. I know, like, the reality is, right, so most people, the thing is you haven't droned enough, and that, like, if you're in a 5-stack here, it doesn't look like you are because there's game chat, but you're not taking proper map control. You're just kind of hoping that there's not someone that's going to be randomly playing in corners like that, because even though you jumped in this wall, right, so, like, even, let's talk about Coates. You jumped in this wall here, and you aim to the left, right, so you're going through. There's no one that's taking Coates control that I can see anyway. But you jump through this window and you aim kind of there. Like, the reality is, dude, like, if someone's there, you're probably dead. So you're just kind of more so hoping that there's no one there, even though you are checking the angle. So now it's a minute and 20 seconds into the round. You're basically on site. It's the first time you get your drone out. So that's something that... let's see if you get punished for that throughout this round, throughout this game. But what I wanted to say was that the details that I go over will be relatively intricate, because the reality is, aside from the fact that you play on a console, you know, I can come up against you in ranked. So, and again, guys, the last time I did some console, let me just touch on this really quick. The last time I went over some console gameplay, there was a bit of controversy as to whether or not the person was playing on keyboard and mouse. I don't know, and I'm not going to judge in the end of the day. Like, I really don't mind. Like, if someone is using a keyboard, I can't tell. I don't know the difference. Like, because someone that's, you know, that you guys looking at consoles, someone that's playing... that looks like they're just solid on a controller might look like they're quite weak on PC. So I just don't know what I'm looking at to that extent. I don't know how good you can get on a controller or what the movements really look like. I know you guys say like jittery movements and stuff, but like, because to me, like this to an extent looks like keyboard and mouse. You know, but like, again, that could just be controller. Like this looks like a kind of a weaker controller, keyboard and mouse. Okay, well played there. Took the aggression.
Yo, push together, go for a refrag.
He's right here, right here.
He's in one.
That's unfortunate.
He's to your left.
Oh, it's just a one-on-one. Alright, let's just go over that and break that down, right? I guess we'll see how this plays out. This guy's done well, he's got out. That's unfortunate. He just got slammed. Okay, so let's just have a quick breakdown on this. Right, so you drone through into coffee. You have a look. There's a rotate on the close left. I can't even hear your voice. I don't know which... I don't know if you're giving call-outs there, but I can't actually hear your voice. But someone gets slammed. You take a quick jiggle peek out, take the shot, and then you decide to make something happen here. Right, minute 14, still plenty of time on the clock, but it's a 2v3. You decide to make something happen.
He saw me? He saw my gun?
Again, no droning into bakery. That's fine. There's probably not going to be someone in here. But a lot of face checking. A lot of face checking. You do happen to catch this castle off guard. What's up, castle? You do happen to catch the castle off guard. Right? This part is what I like, right? So you step out. You step out. And then you re-aggress on that drone. The Jaeger's unlikely to think that you are going to be that aggressive again, right? So that's just trying to catch the Jaeger off guard. So you caught the castle slipping, you caught the castle trying to come out and flank you guys on whiskey. You got that kill. That's the castle's fault, but well done to be positioned to get that kill. This play, however, is better in my opinion. This is even better because this is more of a debated. You know, they hear the drone coming out. The Jaeger goes, oh, there's one there. I'm going to swing on him. And you take the corner, get aggressive, and land the shot. Well played. And then you go to take that momentum, hoping that the player's in coffee potentially. And the player might have been in coffee. And you might have come through that rotate that's just over there. I'm not sure. So coffee's the other bomb site, like that other area over there. He might have come through that rotate, and then he's on site there. So now you're in a position where it's a little bit tricky. You know that the player's here, but you're kind of stuck, right? So what you could do, I guess, is rather than swing out right then and there, you did get the call that he's in one, and he wasn't. That I think that's one. I don't know. My call outs are really bad on that in that regard. But you do get the call that what you could do potentially is just hold this position for a second, just a second or two longer. Literally just hold it on and wait for your teammate to rotate to this position. Then your teammate can basically swing this door frame and try and clear the angle as you hop over here, so that you're both not peeking the same door. You're kind of splitting the angle, so the person that you're attacking, he can't shoot at both of you at the same time, and hopefully you guys get that trade, you know. Or you could potentially get your teammate to rotate around. That's going to take too long. I would say that this is the only logical thing to do. Maybe I'm missing something, but I would probably wait for your teammate to take that corner, and then I would vault over this and try and split the push a little bit, right? Or something along those lines. Okay, round two. So yeah, again, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I don't really want to I'm not going to go into the fact of whether or not someone's playing on a keyboard and mouse or they're not, because I just don't know what I'm looking at, and I just don't fair. I don't want to accuse people of using keyboard and mouse when they're not, if they're not and whatnot, so we're just not really going to go over mechanics too much, right? And that's kind of the way I always wanted, and it's what freaks me out. Hey, you were listening. That was exactly what I mentioned at the start of the video, right? So something like this is a little bit stronger, I believe. All right, because if there is someone on Pixel, hey, that's hilarious. This is the exact position I was talking about. If there is someone playing there, and you catch them rotating, or just you catch really just anyone rotating through this hallway here, you're gonna get a cheeky pick off it. The pre-fire is better than the than the punch, or you can punch and pre-fire, but pre-fire is probably the strongest. Just like that. Well done. Clear out a bit of utility. It's worth it. I think I was talking about something there, but it's completely gone out of my mind. Moving on. Alright, let's see how much droning you're doing. Again, you're just kind of like taking little pot shots, naked, like dry peeking skylight. You don't really want to be doing that, man. For the most part. Yeah, there you go. You got one tap. Yeah, and that's unfortunate, dude. That's just the reality, right? Like when you do what you're doing here, like you basically once you get to a certain level, you don't want to be dry peeking skylight, because really, unless you've got the angle, but especially when you come around pre-firing like this. So just this whole thing here, you don't want to be dry peeking, because there's so many angles that they can be on to just literally go boop and just pick you when all they can see is your head. You have to clear all of it. You have to clear all the angles, right? So you just don't want to be doing it. It's a fast way to get dunked. I would much rather, see, douche. You just get that Tachanka that's just randomly holding that angle. You sound surprised about it, but man, the amount of times that's happened to me, like I wasn't surprised at all. So I would much rather see you. I would much rather see you guys, work the hatches, work piano, and try and take a more traditional push and, get that control and go for a plant, rather than just, dry peeking things without droning, because you've died with two drones on hand, or only one. I don't know where the other one's probably outside, but you've died with basically two drones, and it's just not the go. Okay, round 3. You've switched off the Sledgeinator, moved on to the Zof. They're going to be playing second floor reading now. And just really quickly as well, sorry, I know I should be coaching you rather than everybody else, but this, for those that don't know, you can get a really nice angle from this window, right? If you rappel right up here, you can do it from the ground as well, but it's kind of like a little bit more, like you get a little bit more action, because you can close bottom reading door as well. If you just rappel to around here, or somewhere around this position, you'll know it. I think it's on this ledge, actually, because that's when it bumps you out. I think once you rappel to around this ledge, you kind of get like boosted backwards slightly, and then you just get this really nice angle of heaven. No, it's not called heaven. New Balk. You get this really nice angle of New Balk, and you also get a really nice angle onto reading door. So especially on when the site is reading, you can definitely catch people off rotating, especially early in the round. But yeah, it's a nice angle. And by the way, like you mentioned in your description, Salty, that you wanted to know about the callouts, but I really can't hear what you're saying too much. I don't know if it's just your mic recording or what's going on, but I can't really hear, so I can't give you too much feedback on that. Rocking the Claymore. So that's a huge waste of utility, bro. It's a huge waste of utility, especially considering, look at the operators that we got. Like we got the Ash. Like she doesn't want to be using it. Just look, boom, the sledge. Oh my God! Like Zophia's utility is just becoming so much more important, especially on a site like this where they're just going to be holding top so heavy. And again, maybe we'll find out in just a second. It feels like I'm always trying to predict what's going on, but I would imagine that you're probably not going to have that much top pressure here, top hold from the enemy team if you're just using your impact, your Zofia impacts as willy-nilly as you are right now. But definitely when you get to Diamond and above, right, when you're playing competitive players, and good competitive players at that, there is going to be significant holds above with shields, ADSs, and Wamai magnets, right? So we'll see how that changes next season, but you do not want to be wasting your utility like that, especially when there's a sledge on board, dude. Yeah. Just bring hatch, just bring breach charges, bro. Still got a mirror legion. Doesn't look like the utility game is that strong, but they still have a castle barricade there. That's going to be difficult now. Can't sledge that.
Oh my god, they're playing this upstairs. So weird.
An ADS. Okay, the Legion steps out of line and gets domed regardless. That's a really weird setup they've got here. A more common... The mirrors ain't too uncommon, but it's more common to see like shields played. Wow, you guys are getting super aggressive on it. I like the fact that you're giving them that information.
Bottom or top?
He was bottom, like mid. I think he ran down. I'm not sure.
But yeah, I definitely would be careful with the utility usage there. You guys are sprinting in.
Oh my god.
So even with that, even with like a little bit of destruction, you struggle. Struggle without the impacts.
Oh my, he's a shitter.
Your Capitao is going in.
Let's see,
Your Capitao is going in. So with that mirror as well, just FYI, like I don't know if you want to actually break that mirror, just because I feel like, you know, like if you guys get flanked up red, if someone does go and push this side, that mirror being open is just going to give that person flanking more angles. It's not like really, you know, you guys probably aren't going to be playing out this side as much now. You're going to be playing this side of the castle and the mirror reinforcement. So I think that actually just damages the position more than anything. But that's obviously just something you do quick, fast.
Where's the mirror at?
So where's your sledge? So I know that...
Oh, you shot me!
Oh my god, it's over.
I didn't shoot you.
Wait, you didn't shoot me? What? Up to the hit marker.
Look, I don't even really know what to say about that round. I feel like I didn't really give any good advice aside from the fact that, like, you know, the utility usage is just incorrect. You shouldn't be using Zofia impacts on roof hatches, especially when there's a sledge. But you guys obviously just kind of went in there and sent it. So I can't really talk too much about that round aside from the utility. Just be cautious with your utility placement, dude, because you'll get punished for not having that at a certain point. Okay, round 4.
We still need to reinforce right
We're
here.
playing the Valk. Looks like you're about to get saucy on him. Hit him with the you know, hit him with the run out. That's what we're talking about, baby. Oh my god, I was literally about to say, I was like, are you crazy, bro? Just wanted to wait and see what was happening with that Valk cam, eh?
I'm not giving that one.
Yeah, you can definitely get slammed from that. So don't think I need to tell you that. I feel like you probably learnt your lesson just from taking them little love taps. So you're setting up a really nasty little angle here. An angle that I really like. It's so hard. So again, just to explain to everybody else, right? These angles, basically what my man Salty now is setting up. So let me just get him. Let's just get it set up. Yeah, there. So now, obviously, this is a really important door, and you will very often see people peeking this door, dry peeking it either from this direction or peeking it from this direction, like where the face is. So either one, you'll get them dry peeking that door, and you can basically get a free pick, because it's not like I don't know if you guys have ever tried to shoot through these things, these like wooden. This wooden material here that's just under the skylight, but it's very, very difficult. It is penetrable. You can shoot through it, but there's so many different surfaces involved. Like look how many bullets that just took with the deagle, to open this up, right? With the deagle, the destruction on the deagle is obviously pretty fucking good, for the lack of a better word. So imagine how hard that's going to be to do with a bullet, right? So when they're shooting back at you at this angle, like if you do this with bullet holes, it's even better. But even with this deagle hole, it's still solid, because when they're shooting back at you, they have to shoot through this small little sliver. If they shoot anywhere else around it, you're fine. It doesn't matter. That's probably not even going to do damage to you. So you're in a really advantageous position there. But it's even better with bullet holes. So you want to make sure that you're shooting out them windows behind you as well, because you're just not going to have the information that you if someone's on the east rappels, if them windows aren't shut. Okay, so you're on cams now. So one thing as well with your callouts, I can't really see whether or not you're doing it, but what I would be saying, it's something I've spoken about in the past. When using cams and when being that person that's relaying information, it's almost as important to give the information as to where the team is not. It's almost as important as giving the information as to where the team is, right? So say, yeah, no on white. You don't need to constantly be hitting them with like, yeah, no on white. But as long as your teammates at least know what information that you have to give them. So you say, yeah, I got your white, right? So then they go, okay, I don't need to worry about white stairs whatsoever. He's got this, you know? So giving that information and being that constant voice of reassurance and information is solid. It's good when you're using the cams. Probably should be the Echo, not the Valk, but she dead. Nomad just lost her mind. Okay, piano wall's getting opened. Position's a little bit sketchy. Just not a position you really want to play. Okay, you're dropping down. Probably going for a C4 from below here. Let's see if you can land it. So this is basically minibar. That's unfortunate. The Jaeger, that would have gotten a kill, I think. That would have gotten a kill, but the Jaeger actually stepped up and took him out, the minibar players. So I think you would have got a kill there if you were a little bit faster, if the Jaeger didn't land his kills. Now at this point, it's just a matter of let's run at the man. Well played there. So obviously there's not a lot of coaching. This has been a weird video. Not a lot of coaching to give. The C4 play from below was nasty. Was nice. Would have been cheeky. But good cam placement to an extent. Just be cautious of standing at the windows. You don't need to wait and see what happens to your Valk because you can't change it anyway. Just lob it and run. But when you're on cams, I guess just reassuring your teammates and letting them know what information you've got might be a better way to use that. Use that time. All right, round 5. We're playing the castle now on kitchen defense. So you're playing the kind of default castle setup. For those of you that don't know, proximity alarm to help fortify the Jaeger's position. For those of you that don't really know, let's see. I don't know if you're going to show it again. So basically the default castle setup is like a reinforcement here. So it's just a standard reinforcement on this wall to protect for the Jaeger playing in bakery. Then a castle on that door, a castle on this double door here. Sometimes you can play a castle here as well. Or you can play a castle, you can play that castle barricade on this door as well instead. There's a few different ways you can play it, or you can play it on that. But you can also do this door, you can do the coat's window, you can do multiple different things, right? But the idea is it's supposed to protect, I guess, right? It's supposed to fortify down the red rotates, so your position is red, right? So you own all this red real estate, and the enemy team is going to have whiskey. So one thing with castle that, like, just for everyone else to know, is with castle, like, so you see how we've got the barricade here, plus we've got it on the coat's door, then we got it on the bakery single and stuff. What that does for your team or for the defenders is it gives you a lot of safety and freedom within that red rotate, right? So to rotate within this little passageway through this double door here, or maybe do an extra rotate on the red walls. It gives you a lot of security here. But what it also does, and what you have to remember with castle, is it actually also then it does the reverse for the enemies when they want to take whiskey side, right? So if they take whiskey side, they have a lot of freedom over here, right? To potentially go for like a freezer take maybe, or something like that. They have a lot of freedom. They don't need to worry about getting wrapped on, right? So that's the one thing with castle you need to remember, is when it fortifies one position, it also it also protects another position. And that's why castle's a funky one, right? And potentially looking at being reworked, because there's not a lot of defenders out there that can damage a defense, right? But castle can. Like Cade's never going to really damage a defense. Like Cade's only going to do, like, might not, maybe some Cade placements are better than others, but for the most part, like, he's not going to damage a defense. It just might not be as effective. Nice Cade, just so that everyone can see that as well. Little Cade charge here to help, again, further strengthen this position that Jaeger's playing, holding bakery. When playing this bakery position, just FYI, right? What I would usually do. Okay, it looks like you've got it. So what you want to do really is you want to have a Tachanka, not a Tachanka in general, sorry, but you want to have another player playing on this service door to help, just maybe jiggle peek out, take little pop shots, nothing too crazy, but just like jiggle peek out, take a few shots on that bakery double door to make them really feel the pressure. You can even potentially do a, you know, maybe a shield here, like a Wamai and a shield here, or a shield hanging off this service door. This ADS isn't great. I think that can be shot from outside. I'm not sure. I think it can though. Maybe go one here to protect either of these shields, and then 2 here, or maybe go 1 here, or maybe go 2 here, and then play a Wamai in here rather than a Jaeger, and then do one ADS over in coffee. So 1 ADS over the other side to protect the nades over the top from whiskey. But yeah, so that's just another way. But that's what you want to do when you're holding bakery. You kind of want another person to be there in service to help support that bakery player, or else they can get kind of overwhelmed a little bit. Looks like that Jaeger's taken a few pieces of damage. I'd probably like to see you staying on that cam. I'd like to see you staying on that cam. And one way as well, just really quickly, I'm not going to dive into it too much. One way that to, you know, potentially even maybe another way to set up the site, or a better way to set up the site, is if you're playing that castle setup, I'd probably put a rotate into red, personally. Again, I don't really play comp anymore, but I would say that would be the right thing to do, because you've got the barricade there on whiskey, you've got the castle barricade on coats, so it gives you kind of a rotate to go up red, to go hit red. It does kind of weaken the position in late round, but the rotate ability there is strong. So I'd potentially look at putting a rotate there when you're playing this setup, maybe. Okay, so it looks like they're above now. It's a 5v3. So one part of me thinks, okay, should you go and rotate up on that sledge through that red rotate that you've kind of given, that red channel that you guys have made yourself with using the castle? Maybe not, but like it's just, you're probably going to get squished here a little bit. You don't really have much C4 ability. It's only 1 on the Cade. So yeah, maybe the rotate up is the play, or else you got to dip off into the other side or play deeper in bakery. There's a few different ways you can play it. Getting a little bit antsy. That's kind of what Sledge does, eh? It's like, just like spreads out the ants.
You like switch out with me or something. I'm too low for this.
Just fall back.
Communication with your team. Here the Tachanka gets killed in service from the holes. Could have told me he was above, I think he said. Like, come on, bro. Like, yeah, I guess, like, you should say Sledge is above. Someone should mention Sledge is above. I'm surprised no one did, but, like, come on. There was about 9 different... Come on, bro. You're in service. You know.
Sophia, I got carrier.
You want to be very cautious with, like basically standing where you're standing right now, because if there is someone to play this site, or to swing out here, if they're to swing out here, here, or here, or even a further swing, so a smaller head on that same line back here more, like you are not in a position to win that gunfight. You basically lose to any peak, even potentially this peak if he swings out here. Maybe that's the only one you win, but you definitely lose all the rest. So be cautious with a position like that, man. You're just kind of standing out in the open, waiting to get Pika's advantage. You don't need to hold this position as aggressively. Yeah, they like when the enemy team gets this open here, what that means for you as a defender, it means that you just can't play in service. You can't as aggressively go hit them in service. You can't go play that as hard because there's someone going to be holding it for the most part. But that's fine. You can just play it a little bit more passively from, you know, where that player killed you guys in the first round. Ooh, landed a nice shot on that though, and that was the only position that I said. I don't know what he was doing though. But again, it's these things that will work here, but just not, not post this round or post this elo. You just get punished hard for things like that, man. I promise you, there's just them finite details that will just hold you back, and you'll go up against the best guys in your servers, and they'll just flatten you for doing things like that. One little really quick side note, this video is probably a lot of rambling, right? But just something that I wanted to touch on, it's like a little technique on flanking. So when you see this position like this, now you guys, it's a 4v1, you guys can basically do whatever you want, right? Like, and just trade each other. But in a situation like this, especially if it's like a 2v3 maybe or something like that, where there's 2 of you guys, 3 of them, it's quite situational. But when the enemy team actually has this wall here open, sometimes the enemy, really what they should be doing is they should have someone on an upside down rappel, kind of holding the service swing, or just have someone holding this swing from that breach, right? Or within bakery. But sometimes the defenders, the attackers, will open this line of sight and get a little bit lazy. They get a little bit lazy and go, oh, look, we got breach open now. They're not going to flank service. They'll die. They know that. Like, so they'll think, oh, okay, well, maybe we don't actually have to have anyone specifically watching it all the time. And they can get a little bit lazy on it. So what that can actually allow you to do is it can allow for a really quick, cheeky flank and swing out, especially if this breach is open here too, the main breach, right? So you can just go from playing this hard position here to just swinging around and look for a cheeky play. So that's just something to keep your eye on. I'm not saying it's very situational and it will get you killed, but sometimes it can be the play.
Yeah, he's gonna come down red.
20 seconds left. Who gets the kill? You're jiggle peeking. You're saying, hey, show him one of these. Show him that 1.5. Ah, ooh, oh, God. Ooh, salty. Okay, we're moving on. All right. Match point, 3-2. We're playing reading. Proximity set up all along white. That's okay. I want to see how you guys set this up. Reading's such a fun site to play, in my opinion. It's literally like one of my favorite sites to play in the whole map. Just like, it's just got that layer of like, yeah, depth. So one thing I would say is even when you're doing these windows, you're casting off these windows, I would definitely be punching out that barricade for the sound cue. I'm pretty sure that still works through castle barricades. You still want to punch out the window just so that you can hear if they're on that rappel or not. Site setup is really slow here from you guys. I don't know if you're a stack or if you're all just solo queuing, but the site setup is slow. And so, you know, when you're playing third floor, you want this rotate open so that you can go out, you can rotate out here late round and go to deny, different plants and, just basically just have another area that the defending team, or the attacking team, when they're executing to them to be aware of, for them to be aware of. But when you're playing on reading, you actually don't really want that. So reinforcing it is actually the play because it just, again, kind of solidifies down your position a little bit. Not sure about why you did that. You got a better placement in mind? You're doing the white corridor.
Oh my god.
Cool. Oh my god, oh my god. So with reading, what the basic way to do it, just for everyone that wants to know, you want more shields. You want a little bit more shields, and probably Wamai. Wamai just is so powerful. He might be banned. I don't even know, but the Wamai is so good. But you want a little bit more shield action, and you basically want to try and hold up top for as long as possible. Shoot as many drones as you possibly can, and hold up top for as long as possible without dying. And that's very, very important. You do not want to lose your life up top. You want to drop down the hatch. Maybe one or maximum two players play to death. The rest of you guys get out. You can play 3 up top and hold vertical holes from above. I don't know if you actually got any vertical holes set up, but you definitely want vert holes set up to deny that main reading door or the back plant, or just different things to help support if they actually just attack site straight away. That loses. But you don't want to play to the death up top. You want to drop down them hatches. Hey, that's what you get for not shooting out that window. You got to shoot out that window. And just FYI as well, sorry, just in this room, so that corner there, that back corner there should be a rotate. So you should have a rotate directly onto site. There's no rotate from laundry, and that could be super detrimental for them late round movements.
Yo, no man, new hatch. No one dropped red.
Okay, so I don't know if all of you guys are now off. Oh god. I don't know if all of you guys are now off site or all down below. No, you're not. The Jaeger stayed up top. The Jaeger's in piano. He's castled out. I don't know if they have. I think they do have top control now. So I guess one thing that I would say is just be cautious with how fast you're retaking. And again, these situations that, like, again, this is all just so finite, so minuscule, dude, but it's also important. All right, so, you know, when you're taking the castle barricades down, make sure you punch them windows out. Just the same way that you abused it in the first 2 rounds. Make sure you punch them windows out so you can hear them on rappel, and you can hear that guy putting his fuse canister down. All right, once they take up top, again, like, so much rotation, so much movement has happened. It's only a minute and a half into the round, you know, like in ranked, and there's not been any actual gun pressure. So much rotations and movements. So when you do get forced off that top ground, like, look in this position. You probably, I don't know if you knew something that I didn't. You knew they weren't up there, so you said, yeah, I can take up top again. I can go play that position again. Fantastic. If you can go take it straight away, boom, you know, just rotate down, straight back up top. Right, go get the duck, right? So that's fine, but just be cautious with the timings of the rotate. So let's just see how it plays out again. Let's see how it plays out. Yeah, there is one up top. Well played on that first pick.
Oh, Jackal up here too.
4v3. Jaeger goes down, so now you're the last alive.
Jackal's like 23.
Watch my maestro cam.
Not even.
They're going to be expecting. There's not a lot of droning going on. Is that the Maestro, or is that...
Oh my god.
Nah. Yeah. That's super unfortunate elite Exito.
Nice.
Nice shot in the Jackal as well. Last was Pillar. So, look, really, dude, there's a few things there that you just shouldn't get away with. Like, you got 3 picks from guys just like... So, even in this very last round, right? So, you got this guy... That's just taking. There's so little droning here going on. It's crazy. It's crazy. This doesn't even feel like that. Like that elo is that high in that regard, right? So this guy's just lined and yeeted through yellow, yeeted through white, no droning whatsoever. So you killed him without even looking, and then what? All of fucking 10. Excuse my language. All of 10, 15 seconds later. You get the exact same kill, basically. Another guy just ADSing, no droning whatsoever. Alright, so we kill this guy. He's just not looking, you know? And then this guy, it's nice movement from you. It's nice movement to move from that corner. That's why you never want to play in that same position. Once you get a kill, you do kind of want to move because, yeah, it's just common kind of sense, right? But well played there in that regard. And then this guy leans out for the quick swing here. He's just a little bit too far behind his teammate, so he can't effectively get the trade. He's super weak. You land 1 bullet, it's game over. Zofia hits the shot, and GG. So look, dude, for the most part, again, I don't even know how this video is actually going to come across to you guys. It's whether or not you're going to find this useful, because the kind of, I guess, the things I'm talking about are so, like, finite and stuff. But, you know, I thought we'll give it a go and see what you guys think anyway. But for the most part, again, look, it looks like you guys are having fun in this elo, right? Now, to play in that elo above, like, you just, things that you're getting away with here, you just will not get away with when you come against the best of the best. And for the most part, that's what Diamond Champion elo is. It's the guys that have been grinding this game for years and years and years, right? And they play competitively for the most part. You know, they're super knowledgeable guys, and they're just not going to let you get away with, you know, situations like that where you're just playing in this random corner and you're not tradable. Like, there was no real trading happening from the guys that you were playing with, and I guess that's because you're playing in solo queue, but you're not going to have guys just naked checking corners like that as much, right? Or, like, you know, you got 2 or 3 kills at least in that round. You got 2 kills from it, but you're not going to have that. You're going to be getting guys getting live droned with 2 people pushing so that they can trade each other. That's what's going to be happening, and situations the way that you're playing it now just won't work when you come up against guys like that. So you do want to be making sure that you're in positions to be traded, and stuff like that. It's hard to kind of to dive into it and to go further. You played well. And you played well at this elo, but I guess for the most part, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to just go up there and get your ass beaten by these guys a few times and go, okay, why isn't this working? So my advice to you, this is probably the biggest piece of advice I could give you, is you next season, hitting Diamond, you may come up against Diamonds and play against Diamonds a good amount next season, but when you lose to them, don't be too hard on yourself for not being able to beat those guys straight away. Take what you can from them next season and learn, because you're right there. You're right about to be able to be playing with them all the time, but, you know, you're going to lose to them. You're going to get punished for situations like that. Learn from their mistakes. get out there and basically take them L's and take them like a champ and go, okay, what did I do wrong there? How could we have won that situation? And think about it and break it down. And with a little bit of time, with a little bit of patience, you will eventually adapt to that form of play. And you'll never look back. Then you'll look at this gameplay and be like, what am I doing? You know, in certain areas. So keep the chin up, dude. You're right there. You're going to get it. It's just a little bit more time, a little bit more grind, a little bit of patience, and you'll be fine, my man. But hopefully you can pick up a few things from this video, like a few actionable tips. And yeah, I wish you the best of luck on the journey. And if you guys do enjoy this style of video where, you know, it's coaching a little bit more, a little bit higher gameplay, a little bit more finite, you know, intricate details, just let me know down in the comments if you want to see more of it. I'll make more of it. But, you know, and vice versa. If you don't, I won't. But if you do like the video, if you do enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like. It's a good way to help me know whether or not I'm making good content or not. And as always, be sure to subscribe. I should be in surgery as of right now. So if you guys want to come, you know, get the updates on that, I'll leave a link to my Instagram down in the description below. I'm going to be posting photos and updates along the run a little bit more frequently. Yeah, but without rambling on too long, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.